Hey there, what is up, plant community? So, I'm gonna go ahead and, that's kind of crooked. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a bonsai video update on some of my bonsais, because why not? I'm free, it's nice out, and it's just a lovely day to do videos. So, time to do an update on the bonsais. So, I'll start off here with my desert bonsais. This is my rock fig. It is doing good so far. Has a bit of dead bark and some branching coming up here, which is good. I did go ahead and pitch some of it back. I'm going to do the same with this, hopefully sprouting some new growth. Here we have my Jade Bonsai, which is doing good. My Carastula or Tetragoma Bonsai, it's looking a bit iffy, but hopefully it'll do good. This happened to fall over in the storm, so I had to redo the landscape. Luckily, it was here and it fell that way. This is my Batura aquatica bonsai forest. Hopefully we'll get those leaves reduced. We got some branching on some of them already. Branching here is not doing exactly what I want to do, so I might have to come in and cut that. But otherwise than that, looking good, looking good. Here we have my variegated weeping fig bonsai. So far doing good. I did trim it a little bit. I trimmed it where the leaves were, where new branches have formed, so that way it looks more like a tree. And then over here we got my, what I call my poor man's bonsai. It is a dandelion. And then over here is one of the bonsais I was a bit iffy with. At first it looked like it wasn't going to do anything for me or anything, and now look, it's got new growth. I did work on the roots. I didn't have to do much root pruning because the roots actually came off by themselves. But, yeah, I'm going to have to eventually pitch that back. Hopefully I'll get some budding on the edges. If not, I'll go ahead and pitch it back. It was originally, when I got it, it was cut right there. So, yeah, that'll be a fun video to do eventually. And I have not yet moved that soil. Here is a normal weeping fig. I did prune it back. This will make a good bonsai. It is a normal weeping fig. The mother is right over there. Alright, now we're going to go into my little bonsai area, bonsai tree area. Take that right there. Alright, so here we have my Ficus Ginseng bonsai. Looking good. A little bit of soil got knocked out, but not too much, so that's alright. This is one of my bonsai trees that I just bought and let it grow normally. That I was like, it's not doing so good in the house. The branches are just kind of flowing everywhere and not doing as I want. So I went ahead and turned it into a bonsai. I pruned it back. It's going to need pruning again, of course. Things grow like a weed. They're just relentless on the growth. Then here we have my Victorian styled bonsai. This is supposed to be a hibiscus bonsai tree, braided trunk. It's doing good. I gave it a prune back. It was flowering, but now since I gave it a prune, it has not been doing any flowering. Then this here is my Poinsettia Bonsai. Doing really good. I haven't actually had to water any of my bonsais lately because it's been getting quite cool at night now. And humidity's been up too at night. That's how I know here in Indiana that we are going to start going cold. Because because it usually starts like that. It starts off humid, fog, and mildew before it goes off into frost and whatnot. Anyways, so we have the Poinsettia Bonsai, getting some nice wood on it. Trunks are already nice and woody. Need to put in some proper bonsai soil eventually. I've had this tree, I want to say, 3 years now. Okay, here we have my Norfolk Island Pine bonsai forest. 3 Norfolk Island pines and quote-unquote ginkgos on the bottom that I need to prune back, it looks like. Keep them small. They're starting to get a little too tall here, a little too tall into the branching. So those will need a major prune back. I probably won't do a video on those just because of the simple fact that I'm going to need to really focus on these. Here we have my Japanese-styled Fukian tea tree garden. Here's the little bamboo, and sadly one of the bamboos died. I am going to separate this eventually and have one over here. You can see it's already starting to grow. I'll have to cut that back to here, or maybe even here. They just really grow like weeds. And then here we have my Ficus Oso Little Leaf. I pruned this back and I took away a lot of foliage. It was growing up into the tree, and there's a lot of crisscross branches and branches kind of hitting each other, so I went ahead and pruned that back. Didn't do a video on it. There was a lot of things going on to where I couldn't do a video on it, so I just kind of had to hurry up and prune it. Here we have my popcorn plant bonsai. It too is now starting to branch, which is great. I just need to make sure I prune it and prune it to where I want, so that way it can continue to grow, and hopefully one day it will produce flowers for me, and I'll have a nice woody trunk instead of the green trunk that we see now. I have not done any root pruning on it yet, but that will eventually come, of course. And then here we have my Ficus Burgundy bonsai. It's still a work in progress. I'm not sure if it's rooted yet, but I'm going to give it until the end of this month, which is already 31st, and then I'll see how well rooted it is. I'll take away the rocks and everything. Here we have my bonsai stock that I'm hoping to sell. Here's one of them that I went ahead and brought back here to get away from the sun. Well, not sun, the wind, until it roots. There we have my Boxwood Bonsai. It has yet to be put into a bonsai pot and for the roots to be worked on. I did do a prune on it, and it's just slowly growing back. I haven't pruned it anymore. I've just kind of let it grow. So that's nice to have a little boxwood. I remember I had a small boxwood and it didn't make it. It just died. I actually gave the dead tree away to a friend for his boxwood, which he's trying to do an Australian tree. Here we have another tree of mine, which is the tiger bark Ficus Bonsai. This is a double trunk bonsai tree. So fun fact, during the winter when I had it in a bright room, but I think it might have gotten a bit cool for it, and I had some major dieback on the trunk here of one of my trunks, and I was thinking originally was like, oh man, is that tree even going to survive? I was like, I'm probably going to wind up losing one trunk and have just one trunk kind of leaning. But, nope, that's not what happened. It died back all the way to here. Then there was a little bud, and that just started to grow. And I have this right here. I'm going to have to eventually trim that top off and let that develop a little bit away from the original tree. But you can see here the trunks are thickening up quite nicely on them. So Yeah, and this was a cutting from my uncle's tree. His tree is dead. He had some incidences that happened that couldn't allow him to care for the tree and give it the proper care and maintenance that it needed for the tree to keep on living. So I do have some tiger bark cuttings down here from my tree, and I'm going to wire those for my uncle, and I'm going to wind up doing a bonsai for him. I really don't like doing wire, but that's what he wants and that's what he likes. He likes the S-shaped trunks like that on the trees. I like mine to be more natural, unless, of course, I could do a pinging like this, which I do a lot of pingings anyways. So that is mainly the update for the bonsais. I have not gotten any more bonsais. I do have pines I can pick up, but I'm gonna have to wait for them to go dormant before I can pick them up and work on them. I kept them in the ground over at the local nursery I go to, hoping that way they can get a little bit bigger so I could put them in a decent sized pot and make a bigger forest out of them. But there's only 3 trees. I just don't want a small forest like this that I got going on. I want a bigger forest eventually of medium-sized outdoor trees. That is one thing I could say I don't have is I have a lot of trees I could take a chill, but I don't have no trees that are particularly cold hardy. So maybe that's something I should invest in is some cold hardy trees. I have a lot of tropicals and I just ain't got a lot of quote unquote cold hardy bonsai trees. I think the 3 most of the cold hardies I do got is the Fukian, which can take temps as low into the 40s, and the Boxwood. Alright, but now we gotta go up front to talk about some of the trees up there. Some of the mystery seeds I even got up there for bonsai. So, gonna show you guys that. Alright, I'm back out here into the tropical garden, the front garden, the prehistoric garden, if you will. So, I guess I do have a little bit more cold hardy. So these are seed trays. This is my mystery seed. I think it's a native of some sort, just don't know what type of native. So, getting some dead leaves off my maples here. So that'll be interesting to figure out what type of tree it is. Right now it looks like it has some of its primitive leaves on. The other seeds look like they did not make it, so that's okay though. That is a-okay. I had some seeds in here too. You can see it's very airy bonsai soil and they did not make it. Here we have one of my variegated weeping figs. I'm gonna let that get bigger and I'm gonna sell it. So somebody can potentially do bonsai on it, or they can do whatever they want. They can raise it as a normal house plant if they like. These are my red maple seedlings. I got these during the spring from the mother tree over there, the big red maple. It's doing really good, doing good. I keep it well watered, being out here in the direct sun and a black seed tray. So I am going to give some of these maples away. This is going to be, these 2 are going to be somebody's, one for a friend and one for another friend, and then I'm going to have this one as a specimen tree. And then here we have my variegated weeping figs down here that I had to work on. So they're doing good. They're looking good. They're looking healthy, looking great, getting bright variegation. I'm surprised they adjust because every other plant I had out here taking direct sun that was doing so would burn. So glad to see that they are doing fantastic. So I think that's really about it for the bonsais. The maples I can't really do work on until, well, until it's winter time and they go into a dormancy. So yeah, I think I got way more tropicals than I do actually have cold hardy bonsais, which is surprising, honestly, because where I live, you you'd have easier luck and better luck with just the cold hardy trees than really messing with the tropicals. But you know, I'm a tropical guy. I like the tropics. I like tropical weather, even though sometimes it can be hard to sleep in and very muggy. And I like tropical plants. So I don't have very many cold hardy in my collection like I feel like I should have. I would like to get, however, another shelf like this right here for my cold hardy bonsais, or just to stack up more bonsais in general. But yeah, all the bonsais are looking good. They're of course growing. They're healthy, strong with vigor. Um, so yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you liked it. And have a good rest of the day, guys.